Hi, I'm Adeline, and I'm about to tell you how my sister's arrogance became her biggest mistake. It started 3 years ago when I got engaged to Marcus, the man of my dreams. I called my sister Vanessa the day after he proposed. "Nessa, I'm engaged!" I said, practically bouncing with excitement. "Oh, that's nice," she replied, her voice dripping with that condescending tone I'd heard my whole life. "So who's the lucky guy? Please don't tell me it's that quiet guy you brought to Thanksgiving." "His name is Marcus, and yes, that's him," I said. "He's amazing, Nessa. He's kind, smart, successful." "Successful?" she interrupted with a laugh. "Adeline, he wore khakis and a regular button-down to a family dinner. How successful can he be?" I felt my jaw tighten. "He's humble. He doesn't need to show off." "Right," she said. "Well, I'm happy for you, I guess. When's the wedding?" "June 15th. I'm hoping you'll be my maid of honor." There was a pause. "June 15th? That's literally the same weekend as the Paris Fashion Week after-parties. I already booked my tickets months ago." My heart sank. "Nessa, this is my wedding. Can't you reschedule?" "Adeline, do you know how hard it is to get into these events?" she asked. "This is important for my social media brand. I'm building something here. You're just getting married. People do that all the time." "Just getting married?" I repeated, stunned. "Look, I'll send a nice gift, okay? But Paris is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. You'll have plenty of other big moments I can be there for. Kids, anniversaries, whatever." I felt tears burning in my eyes. "So you're choosing a party in Paris over my wedding?" "It's not a party, it's networking," she snapped. "You wouldn't understand. You've never been ambitious like me. You're settling down with some average guy in the suburbs while I'm building an empire. Be realistic about your priorities." "My priority is marrying the man I love," I said quietly. "And my priority is my career," she replied. "Mom will be there. Dad will be there. You'll be fine without me. Honestly, Adeline, you're being a bit selfish expecting me to drop everything for you." I hung up before I said something I'd regret. My mother called me an hour later. "Sweetie, Vanessa told me about Paris," Mom said gently. "I'm so sorry." "Did you talk to her?" I asked. "I tried," Mom replied. "She said she already paid for everything and that you'd understand. I told her she was being incredibly hurtful, but you know your sister. She thinks the world revolves around her." "She always has," I said bitterly. "Marcus seems wonderful, honey," Mom said. "Don't let Vanessa ruin this for you. She'll regret this someday." My wedding day was perfect despite Vanessa's absence. Marcus looked at me like I was the only person in the world. During our vows, I didn't think about my sister once. But Vanessa? She posted 47 Instagram stories from Paris, each one hashtagged with #, living my best life, and #, sorry not sorry. Marcus squeezed my hand during the reception. "You okay?" he asked. "I'm perfect," I told him. "I married you. Nothing else matters." "She has no idea who she dismissed," he said with a small smile. "What do you mean?" I asked. He kissed my forehead. "You'll see. Karma has a way of working things out." 2 years passed. Marcus and I built a beautiful life together. He worked from home mostly, and I never pushed him about his job. He told me he was in tech investment, and I knew he was successful, but he was so humble about it that I never really asked for details. Then one evening my phone rang. Vanessa. "Adeline, how are you, sis?" Her voice was sugary sweet. "I'm fine," I said cautiously. "What do you want, Nessa?" "Why do you assume I want something?" she asked. "Can't I just call my sister?" "You haven't called me in 2 years," I pointed out. She laughed awkwardly. I know. I've been so busy with my new business venture. Actually, that's kind of why I'm calling. I'm starting a luxury lifestyle app, like Instagram meets Pinterest meets personal shopping. It's going to be huge." "That's great," I said flatly. "I'm looking for investors," she continued, "and I was going through potential VCs, and I came across this name, Marcus Chen. Any chance that's your Marcus? My blood ran cold. Why? Because Marcus Chen is like one of the biggest tech investors in the country, she practically shrieked. He's funded half the apps I use. He's worth millions. Is that your Marcus? Yes, I said simply. There was stunned silence. You're married to the Marcus Chen, the venture capitalist, the guy who founded TechBridge Investments? Yes, Vanessa. And you never told me? She demanded. You never asked, I replied. You were too busy calling him average and skipping my wedding for Paris. Oh my God, Adeline, I didn't know, she said. This is incredible. You have to introduce me. I need a meeting with him. My app is exactly the kind of thing he invests in. No, I said. No, I said. What do you mean no? She asked, her voice rising. I mean Marcus doesn't mix family with business, I lied. And after how you treated me, you've got some nerve asking for favors. Adeline, please, she begged. This is my dream. I've put everything into this app. I just need one meeting. You're my sister. I was your sister 2 years ago when you skipped my wedding, I said coldly. The answer is no. She hung up on me. Marcus walked into the room. Was that Vanessa? Yes, I said. She just figured out who you are. She wants a meeting. He raised an eyebrow. For her app? You know about it? I asked, surprised. Her pitch deck crossed my desk last week, he said. My team flagged it because of the last name. I had my investigator Sarah look into it more deeply. And? I asked. And your sister is running a scam, he said seriously. She's taking deposits from luxury brands for premium placement in an app that doesn't actually function. She spent the money on her lifestyle, designer clothes, expensive dinners, first-class travel. I felt sick. She's committing fraud? Textbook fraud, he confirmed. I was going to tell you tonight. Sarah has documentation, emails, bank records, testimonials from angry vendors. Vanessa has defrauded at least 15 small businesses out of over $200,000. What are you going to do? I asked. What do you want me to do? He replied. She's your sister. I thought about the wedding, about every time Vanessa had made me feel small, about every condescending comment, every dismissal, every time she put herself first. I want justice, I said firmly. Marcus nodded. Then let's give her exactly what she's asking for. Let's give her a meeting. 2 weeks later, Vanessa walked into Marcus's downtown office like she owned the place. She dressed to impress in a designer suit that probably cost more than my car. Marcus, so wonderful to finally meet you properly, she gushed, extending her hand. I'm Vanessa, Adeline's sister. I remember you from the wedding photos, Marcus said coolly. Oh wait, you weren't there. Her smile faltered. Yes, well, about that. Let's talk about your app, he interrupted, gesturing to a chair. You've requested $500,000 in seed funding, correct? Yes, she said eagerly. Lux Life is going to revolutionize how people get scammed? Asked Sarah, my new favorite person, as she walked into the room. I'm Sarah Mitchell, corporate fraud investigator. Vanessa's face went white. I don't understand. Let me explain, Marcus said, opening a folder. You've collected $247,000 from 16 luxury brands for guaranteed premium placement in your app. However, your app doesn't actually work, does it? It's in beta, Vanessa protested. These things take time. You told Bella's boutique their spot was guaranteed 3 months ago, Sarah said, sliding a document across the table. That's their email. You want to explain where their $15,000 went? I spent it on development, Vanessa stammered. Development at Chanel? I asked, walking into the room with my mother. Or development at that Michelin star restaurant? Or maybe the development trip to Monaco? Adeline? Mom? What are you doing here? Vanessa asked, panic clear in her voice. Watching karma work, Mom said coldly. I can't believe you'd steal from small business owners. I didn't steal anything, Vanessa shouted. I was going to deliver. I just needed more time. Time you spent posting on Instagram about your luxury lifestyle, Marcus said, turning his laptop around. Every purchase tracked and cross-referenced with your bank statements. Thank you for documenting your fraud so thoroughly. You investigated me? Vanessa asked, her voice shaking. You tried to use my wife to get access to my money, Marcus replied. Of course I investigated you. Did you really think I'd hand over $500,000 without due diligence? Sarah stood up. Miss Reynolds, I've forwarded all evidence to the district attorney's office. They're very interested in your business practices. Wire fraud, theft by deception, breach of contract. You're looking at serious charges. You can't do this, Vanessa cried. Adeline, please, tell them this is a misunderstanding. Is it a misunderstanding? I asked. Did you or did you not take money from people with no intention of delivering what you promised? I was going to deliver, she insisted. When? Marcus demanded. Your app has been in development for 8 months. You have no developers on payroll. You have no office. You have nothing but a domain name and a lot of people's money that you've spent on yourself. The door opened, and 2 police officers walked in. Vanessa Reynolds? One of them asked. Yes, she whispered. You're under arrest for wire fraud and theft by deception. You have the right to remain silent. The trial took 6 months. Vanessa's public defender tried to argue she'd made business mistakes, but the evidence was overwhelming. 16 victims testify. Bank records didn't lie. Her Instagram account became Exhibit A. Every designer purchase, every luxury meal, every first-class flight documented with timestamps matching exactly when she'd received payments from her victims. The day of sentencing, I sat in the courtroom with Marcus and my mother. Vanessa looked small in her orange jumpsuit, nothing like the confident woman who dismissed my wedding. The defendant showed a clear pattern of deliberate fraud, the judge said. She specifically targeted small business owners, people who could least afford to lose these amounts. This was not a mistake. This was calculated theft. I hereby sentence Vanessa Reynolds to 5 years in state prison and order full restitution to all victims, totaling $247,000. Vanessa sobbed. My mother reached for my hand. After the sentencing, Vanessa's lawyer approached us. She'd like to speak with you. No, I said immediately. Please, he said, just 5 minutes. Marcus squeezed my shoulder. Your call. I followed the lawyer to a small conference room. Vanessa sat there, mascara running down her face. Adeline, I'm so sorry, she began. I never meant for any of this to happen. I was just trying to be successful. I wanted to prove I was better than everyone thought. By stealing? I asked coldly. I made mistakes, she said. Terrible mistakes. But I'm your sister. Can't you forgive me? Can't you ask Marcus to drop the charges? Marcus didn't press charges, I said. Your victims did. 16 small business owners whose money you stole. People with families and dreams and bills to pay. I'll pay them back, she insisted. With what money? I asked. You spent it all pretending to be someone you're not. Please, Adeline, she begged. I skipped your wedding. I was awful to you. I know that. But I'm still your sister. Doesn't that mean anything? I stood up. It meant something 2 years ago when I begged you to come to my wedding. It meant something when I needed you and you chose Paris instead. But you taught me that family isn't just blood. It's showing up. You never showed up for me, so I'm not showing up for you now. You can't mean that, she whispered. 5 years is a long time, I said. Maybe you'll spend it thinking about how you dismiss the average guy in khakis, who turned out to be worth more than you ever dreamed. Not in money, in character. I walked out without looking back. 3 years later, Marcus and I are happier than ever. We started a foundation that provides microloans to small businesses. Several of Vanessa's victims were our first clients. They've all rebuilt and thrived. My mother visits Vanessa occasionally. I don't. I sent her one letter during her first year in prison. I told her I hope she'd learn that success isn't about designer clothes or Instagram followers. It's about integrity, kindness, and showing up for the people who matter. She never wrote back. People ask me sometimes if I feel guilty. I don't. Vanessa made her choices. She chose Paris over my wedding. She chose fraud over honest work. She chose her ego over everything and everyone else. I chose justice. Have you ever had someone dismiss you or your relationship, only to realize later what a mistake they made? What would you have done in my situation? Like and subscribe for more stories about people who refused to be victims and fought back the right way.